Hello and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation. With me, your host Owen, guys, bringing you your daily update. Your team every single day, guys. The only way to make sure you get your team every single day is if you hit that sub, you ring that notification bell, and you give this video a like, guys. Helps out. So have that done. Anyway, guys, it is match day. It is Old Firm match day, the final Old Firm game of the season. A lot, you know what? I know the league's gone. I know the cups have gone, but there's kind of still a bit riding on this. This is the last time we play them this season. We've only drawn with them. We haven't yet beaten them. I think it kind of is, to me, it seems important to actually, to lay a glove on them, to lay down that initial marker for next season. Now, I know, 100% know that the vast majority of this team, hopefully, today will not be here next season or will not be part of the first 11 next season. But I think there is a need really today to lay down that marker to show this team that, you know what, we're not taking any prisoners. We are here and we are going to be fighting back next season, and we are going to be in a position to really challenge next season after getting a good summer behind us. Now, obviously, Michael Beale spoke to the media today. First of all, obviously, the biggest thing he was asked about was the Dujon Sterling news. Which obviously a number of Rangers podcasts and channels have brought to you this week. He refused to be drawn on that. He said, obviously, out of respect for the player and his club, and he wouldn't be commenting on any players in particular. He did say, though, that it was Rangers had a lot of players linked with them, and it was nice to see that players were obviously interested in coming to the club, and that that it was the Rangers were still obviously being thought of in that light. He also spoke about the fact that he would not name players who would be leaving the club this summer. He said he didn't feel that was appropriate with only 4 games left to go. But he said that we were close to having an announcement on which players would be leaving at the end of the season. He was also asked about had he had any phone calls about Rangers players, to which he responded, "I've had lots of phone calls, but again refused to name names." Obviously, a lot of the rumours going around at the moment isn't that new contracts have been offered to Scott Arfield and Ryan Jack. On Ryan Jack, Michael Beale did say, however, that that he wouldn't obviously be drawn on whether Ryan had been offered a new 1-year contract with that 12-month option. But he did say that, in the past, he has spoken about the fact that he wants Ryan to stay at the club and take from that what you want. So I think that is sort of a big hint that, yes, it is Ryan Jack, who is one of the players who has been offered a new contract by Rangers. Obviously, no news yet on Scotty Arfield. He was also asked about Ryan Kent and Alfredo Morelos. Obviously, more on Morelos than Kent. He was asked, the fact that obviously Kent and Morelos remain Rangers players till the end of the season. Were they still in his thoughts as regards first teams? And he said, yes, they are still very much in my thoughts and consideration for the squad. And obviously, if they are named in the squad, then obviously they will be expected to take part. He was obviously asked further on about those comments that he made last week about Alfredo, and said, had he spoken to Alfredo about those comments that he'd made, saying obviously that he wasn't impressed with Alfredo's energy and effort in that last game. Michael Beale said that he had spoken to him, but he had spoken to Alfredo before he spoke to the media and made it quite clear with Alfredo exactly how he felt. But he said that him and Alfredo did have a very open and honest relationship when it came to that. And obviously, that he was prepared to say whatever he says to the media to the players' faces as well. Obviously, there were Beale didn't make any comment about how Alfredo reacted to that, but did say that Morelos obviously is in consideration for the game tomorrow. And, given Rangers' lack of striking options currently with Cholak still out, Sakala couldn't, not being able to hit a barn door, there is a possibility that Morelos could start his final Old Firm game, or at least play some part in the final Old Firm game tomorrow. Maybe that stinging rebuke from Beale in the media may act as a bit of a rocket for Morelos. And like Michael Beale said today, Kent and Morelos remain Rangers players until they finally move on in the summer. This is Ryan Kent is not available for selection tomorrow. He has had an issue. Apparently, that's already said an issue, and has not been part of training, so will not be considered for selection tomorrow. He did say, however, he was asked who will start in goal tomorrow. Will Alan McGregor return or will Robbie McCrorie start? He went on to say that Robbie McCrorie will start in goal for Rangers tomorrow. He will be the goalkeeper. He said, obviously, that Robbie has played against Celtic previously. He was impressed with the performance he gave against Aberdeen, and obviously that he would have great faith in what Robbie said. He said, that he had been wanting to use Robbie more this season, but Robbie's been out injured. He said he'd obviously given him B team games to get back up to speed before including him in the first team squad, and obviously starting him against Aberdeen last week. But he will be starting in goals for Rangers today against Celtic, which I think is great news because, at the end of the day, I think we need to see McCrorie now. We need to see whether this kid has got what it takes to be Rangers number one. And certainly he impressed last week against Aberdeen, didn't he? He played very well indeed. So, again, good news that he will be available. He also talked about the fact that there will be some interesting players in terms of opportunities for players tomorrow. He spoke about the tactics will remain the same. He spoke about how the home form had been very good this season since he's taken over. And he said that overall that he was pleased with that. But he did speak about how there may be changes in the player personnel tomorrow. So obviously Ben Davies is out. That is one piece of news that he did confirm. So it could obviously be Leon King or more likely John Souttar, who starts alongside Connor Goldson at the back for Rangers. However, there was no other sort of news given on that in terms of who will and won't start tomorrow. That obviously will be saved till just before the game, about an hour and a quarter before the game, obviously, when starting lineups are named. No news on Borna Barisic either, or on Ridvan or anything like that. It was just purely targeted mainly at those players that I've spoken about. Obviously, further links today. Not Michael Beale wasn't asked about this nor drawn on this as regards Luis Palma. It appears that Rangers have made a bid and there are talks ongoing with the club. Apparently, due to work permit rules, it will be hard for Palmer to get a move to England, as England has a lot stricter work permit rules after Brexit than Scotland. So therefore, it does seem likely that Rangers, who are in talks with Palmer, are leading the field to get the Honduran winger and bring him to Ibrox, which I think will be good news. He does seem like a high quality player and a very talented player indeed. It's the sort of player I think who can come in and replace Ryan Kent. He's someone who has obviously had an impact for Aris this year, scored goals, created chances, and has done very well for Aris Thessalonica this year. That's not easy to say, guys. But yeah, he has done well, and he has sort of been linked. At the moment, obviously, there is nothing concrete, but there does appear to be obviously a lot of rumours that deals are moving towards being finalised. The Dowell deal, the Butland deal, which could have hit a buff, we don't know. The Dujon Sterling deal, and now this deal for Luis Palma. There certainly seems to be moves, definitely afoot to strengthen this team and move this team. The reported amount for Luis Palma is £4.3 million. Michael Beale did speak in his press conference today about how his desire is to get these players in before they start back on the 30th of June, and how this team, he says, needs to play well, not just against those teams lower than them, but also against the teams of equal level and higher than them. I think that was particularly looking towards those Champions League qualifiers coming up in June. 2 qualifiers to get into the group stages. And obviously, there is a chance that Rangers could play a team that is perceived to be better than them in terms of the value of their squad. The likes, obviously, of Ajax, the likes of some of the French teams like Monaco, apparently, are all in the mix to go into those UEFA qualifiers. So, Rangers are going to have to play up and play to that higher level, I think, if they're going to qualify for the Champions League, if they get what we describe as a bit of a nightmare draw coming up against one of those teams. But, they did it last season against PSV. So this season against PSV. So hopefully that is something they can do again going into next season. But, overall, I think it's very positive from Beale again today. Obviously trying to keep it as positive as possible going into this final Old Firm game. Good news that Robbie McCrorie's back. Good news about this Luis Palma deal seems to be moving towards a close. Well, guys, that's the early morning news here on your match day as we build up towards this massive game again today against that lot from across the city at Ibrox. Ibrox that we fill solely with Rangers fans. I want to see the team go out there, get straight in their faces, not give them a moment's peace, and go at them from minute one. Todd Cantwell, I think, needs to have another massive game today. Nico Raskin as well. They're the 2 key players I'm really looking for today to really step it up and take it to Celtic. A fascinating game, guys. Looking forward to watching it. Guys, please come and join me after the game, obviously, to talk about it. But guys, it is it. This is it. Last chance to beat them. Let's beat them. Let's smash them. Let's show them that we're not going anywhere, that we will not go quietly into the night, and that we are here to stay, and we're going to be here challenging them next season and taking those trophies back and bringing them back where they belong, to the blue side of Glasgow. Thank you for watching once again, Glasgow Rangers Nation. I'm back to speak to you again very soon here on the channel. Please remember to hit that sub, ring that notification bell, and give this video a like, guys, please. It does help out. And thank you for your phenomenal support to this point. It's been amazing. We are the people.